highly pathogenic means that it causes more disease and mortality.
A deadly virus we know is sweeping across the nation and the world, this time in birds. The avian flu is devastating poultry farmers across Canada and has wildlife rescues on high alert. It's also forced a number of zoos to put their flocks in self-isolation, if you were, indoors away from wild birds.
I hope that the public sees this as us trying to do our best for the birds, for their own protection.
1 month into its quarantine, and I think we can relate to this parrot hoarding toilet paper at the Edmonton Valley Zoo, an enrichment activity as it stays in a smaller pen away from the public.
Because the virus is shed in bird dropping, when people walk around on zoo grounds, they can inadvertently, I'm sure nobody does it on purpose, but they can inadvertently step in wild bird droppings, and then they might carry the virus on the soles of their shoes.
The zoo watching case numbers to see when they can safely be brought out. The virus in Alberta alone identified in birds like geese, hawks, and owls.
If you get it into your chicken flock or your turkey flock, it can be devastating, and all the birds have to be destroyed.
So far, Canadian poultry farmers have reported 1.7 million birds impacted by the virus. Alberta, the hardest hit, with 900,000. But what about those birds in your bird feeder?
Chickadees and blue jays and other birds that you'd have at your bird feeder are not likely to get avian flu.
This professor says because the virus has not yet been identified as a threat to songbirds, the bigger concern when keeping a feeder this time of year,
organisms and bacteria thriving in the feces below the bird feeder, there's a high risk of transmission of salmonella to the songbirds. That's the main threat.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency telling City News to avoid feeders in areas that are open to small flocks, pet birds, and other animals, saying backyard feeders and baths should be properly and frequently cleaned, and anyone coming into contact with birds and their droppings should wash their hands thoroughly. In Edmonton, Carly Robinson, City News.